Hey, good afternoon. So today's day 9, and today I just wanted to talk about a topic that's been something I'm not comfortable with, but as I learn it, I've realized how powerful it is, that it's basically the foundation for almost every other habit or choice that we make, and basically the foundation for having a good life or not having a good life. So, self-love, which even just saying those words, I know people have a different visceral feeling based on that. They're like, that's selfish, or of course self-love. Like there's different extremes. Like if you don't love yourself, like what's wrong with you? Or how can you be like loving yourself over everyone else? So I have tended to be the person in the category that's like self-love is selfish, that philosophy, that camp. And I've realized that I'm very much wrong. People that are all about themselves, selfish in every way, and they're always constantly self-centered and self-focused, that is another extreme of mistaking what that's really about. But self-love basically comes down to having a value for yourself, which at the beginning I talked about how incredibly important having the correct identity and perspective of yourself is. Well, if you develop the correct identity, you should have appropriate self-love. So that means that any given day, if you're going to love your neighbor as yourself and do unto others as you'd have them to you, then you have to have a sense of, well, what would I want done? And so I've realized, especially after going through a divorce and kind of dealing with some stuff from my past and my childhood, that I literally, like, if you asked me what I wanted, I didn't know. So as a young woman, I had like some dreams and aspirations and things that were sort of adventures that I wanted to have. But after going through med school and residency and building a business with my ex-husband and having 3 children, I literally felt like I was living for what everybody else around me needed and expected, and I didn't know how to even say what I wanted. Now there was things that I might indulge in that were like, oh, I want a good cup of coffee, or I would love to have some chocolate or some wine, or it would be really nice to have a back massage. But that's more like, that's not really self-love. You can do those things and, that's somewhere in between self-care and self-indulgence. But self-love is knowing deep down like who you are, that you have value, that you are enough, and speaking these things to yourself on a daily basis. So self-talk that aligns itself with self-love is also really important. So I guess I'm trying to explain this as I learn it and as I learn to practice it better. I feel that meditation is a really important part of self-love, because as you get quiet and tune yourself in with the breath and hear basically your own spirit and tune in to God, you can begin to feel that deeper level of love for yourself that comes from God. So the other side of the coin to self-love that I want to just quickly touch on today that I'm learning about is that self-discipline and self-love go hand in hand. Now, ironically, as a younger woman, I feel like I had a better handle on this before marriage and before children. I had the goal of becoming a doctor. I had the goal of like playing sports and excelling in that realm. And I would say, I want this. I want to go to Costa Rica. And I would make a goal for myself and I would achieve it by being somewhat disciplined. Now, I could always needed to work on that a little bit. But self-discipline and self-love, why they go hand in hand is it's saying that my deep desires as a person are important enough to me to not gratify whatever I'm instantly desiring in this moment. So it could be engaging in a relationship. Somebody asks you out that you're like, I don't really need to go out with that person. Well, self-love says, no, that's not good for me. I'm not going to do that. Or that's not good for that other person. I want to be the kind of person that shows integrity. So self-discipline also can be when the alarm goes off, you jump out of bed and you establish the morning ritual that you told yourself you would do as far as your habits. So it's saying that what I want is important enough to love myself in this moment, to discipline myself, to do the hard thing, and to not go on feelings alone. So hopefully my life will begin to resonate with that message, and it will be obvious to others that I have a deep confidence, love for myself, that I believe that I'm enough, and that my habits and my actions speak to that. I believe that people in my life have known that I've loved them, but I hope that they'll know even more that my love for them is deep and strong as they see my love and care for myself and the confidence that grows from that, and that self-discipline will be an indicator of that as I stick with these habits. So that's today in a nutshell. I hope everybody has a day full of love for themselves, love for others, and self-discipline that helps you to reach your ultimate goals. Be blessed.